Foxx on the Box Show, 107.5 WGCI. Thank you so much for logging on to WGCI.com. Man, what a privilege to have joining me today. A couple of brothers that are definitely doing some good in the hood. My man, Chico Debarge. Woohoo! And give it up for Jamie Severe. Now, Chicago, you probably didn't know this because I just found out too. But I hope I'm not putting all your business in the street. But Chico Debarge now lives in the Chicagoland area. So big ups to that. We got another one.
Took another one.
Welcome to Chicago, man.
Thank you.
Welcome to WGCI.com.
Thank you.
Your music. You have such a big following here in Chicago. I remember I saw you, man. I don't know when it was. I think it was at the Park West up north. And it was like packed. People like, gotta see Chico Debarge. Gotta see Chico Debarge. What's been up on the music tip?
Well, on the music tip, I've been recording my new CD, which will be released June 30th. Okay. So I've been taking my time.
And the title of the CD is Addiction. Now, I'm really big on titles.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd that one come from?
Well, you gotta listen to the album.
Oh, come on. You're not gonna do me like that, Chico.
Well, no, it's exactly what it says, addiction. It's something that I dealt with in my life. And so I wrote about it. It's behind me, thank God. And I wrote about it. I figured that if I put it out there, it could help somebody. That's the point I'm at in my life.
Yes, sir.
Really reaching out, So,
okay.
Which, of course, was the P.R.O.
Exactly. Yeah, let's just go on to it. You have a program that you're involved in. P.R.O. It stands for
People Reclaiming Ourselves. It was from my brother here,
Founder?
James Severe. Yes,
Okay,
Severe.
James Severe, man. You guys, either one, please talk about this. I cannot tell you how many phone calls I get from listeners that say, B, I got an X on my back. I've been locked up. They're not giving me a chance out here in the streets. What can I do? I need a job. I have a family I need to take care of. What can I do with this felony on me? Help me.
Well, one of the reasons why we started P.R.O, most of the young men that were ex-felons, they would go out to certain programs. But the problem is that some of the programs weren't actually helping them. So once you get a person that has a felony on their record and they actually make an attempt after they've dealt with incarceration to try to get education or try to get employment, and then they go through the programs that are funded by, the state and private, and they can't get any help, then it becomes a problem.
Yep.
So I used to be the youth director for PUSH. I did the first National Gangster Rap Summit before Russell and anybody right here in Chicago.
Yep.
And during that time, I was trying to get artists to understand the music business. Now, on the not-for-profit side, after Katrina, I start realizing that people are donating money, but the organizations themselves are dysfunctional. So what we have to do is get involved. And the only way I thought to get involved was to create an organization to create a model for what things should be like. And one of the other differences about P.R.O is that we're actually the only not-for-profit that actually monitors other not-for-profits.
Oh,
So the money that's coming out for the Second Chance Act, which is sponsored by Danny Davis, thank you so much, our congressman, the money that's allotted for that, we're going to be keeping track of all of that money, so that we'll make sure that they're not going to wasteful programs. Because people do abuse the not-for-profit sector.
yes, they do.
They just look at it as a stepping stone towards more capitalist affairs. And there's nothing wrong with, working someplace, volunteering, building your resume. But when you're collecting money on behalf of the people, because, when the state gives you that money, that's still our tax dollars.
Yes,
So when we give you that money and you abuse it, and then you let these young men and women feel like, hey, there's just no help. So I need to go right back into what I was doing that got me incarcerated in the first
Yeah,
place.
because there's no encouragement. There's no light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, if you will. They feel, man, I can get out here, somebody's going to help me. But if you don't have that help, then, it's human nature to want to go back to do what you were doing in the first place.
Exactly. But at the same time, that's why what we're doing as far as the intake procedure is totally different. And I want everybody to know, before you come to P.R.O, this is not where you're going to just come in and say, hey, just find me a job. It's not like that. Actually, what we do is we interview each case to find out what particular field that they are interested in, so that we can actually examine what they need to do. Maybe you might need a job right now, for meager means, but you need to be in school for this field at the same time. And if we can, which is what we're really trying to do, is try to find you a job in that field, whether it's, you know, entry level or internship, whatever it is. We want to try to at least get you in that field so that while you're taking a class or whatever to try to build your education up, when we go to an employer and say, hey, we have some gentlemen that want to work, they've done some things to, you know, achieve that. Most of the times people just have them in a 6-week program. They teach them how to do resumes, how to tie a tie, and that can't help you when an employer looks at your resume.
Exactly.
And I've been a supervisor for at least about 6 or 7 years, and I know I looked at resumes, and it was all about your experience. Most of the times, I didn't even care what school you went to. You know, unless it was a trade school or something where your degree was exactly on point with that position. But if it wasn't like that, then the only thing else I could, you know, basically hiring you on was your experience. So we're trying to get people to understand that, you know, just because you've been incarcerated don't mean you can't dream anymore.
Right.
Or you can't have a profession that you really want to get involved in. Yes, you can. But you have to work harder at it. You have made some mistakes, and you might have to work a little harder at it. And that's what we try to do, is give them the cold facts so that they can move on.
And Chico, you're a great example of that. Of course, most people know that you were incarcerated, and you too have an X on your back, so to speak. Is that why you became involved with P.R.O?
That's exactly why. It kind of happened by accident, meeting this brother. He was talking about it over Brother Jamie's house. We were coming from rehearsal, I believe.
Marcel.
Marcel. And we were coming from rehearsal, and I was over there, and he was talking about it. And I don't even think you knew my experience, right? I don't think you knew.
Yeah, no, I did.
We
just
okay.
You
just didn't know. Yeah, but it clicked, and I was like, wow, that's because I know how hard it is to come back to, you know, a society that has scarred you, and just the faith alone, just having faith. I didn't have much faith because it wasn't many, you know, options for me. So these brothers, you know, doing this beautiful thing for the brothers that, you know, have been, you know, got the X on their back, as you say. It gives them a chance to rehabilitate themselves back into society, to, you know, build themselves up, gives them the options, you know, agencies, the know-how, you know, all the tools to fix your life, you know. So I asked, you know, could I be part of it, because it's something that I always wanted to be part of anyway.
That's beautiful. Just briefly, I mean, there's thousands of people viewing this video. What encouraging words can you give, either of you brothers, to someone who, in fact, you know, has been incarcerated, or they're out here trying to get back into society? What advice? I mean, when they see examples like you guys actually say it, it makes a difference, you know?
Well, I start with 2 words: take advantage. One of the ways that we're able to change what's going on is people actually trying to pursue the things that are out here. So that means if you've been incarcerated, Cook County has a website, and so does the state of Illinois, and they have programs on there for you. Now, a lot of these programs don't work, but you won't know if you don't go through them. And then we can't change the programs if you don't attempt to go through them. So, and then take advantage of us. That's why we're here. It's for you to take advantage of us. So you have to look for your resources. You can't just get out and start talking to your closest friends who might not have any options for you and say that's it. You really have to deal with the state as well, to make sure that they're living up to their programs. And then because we're monitoring them, please report to us. Please report to us if you went to a program that was sponsored by the government or sponsored by private funding and you weren't able to receive any help. Please let us know that. That's one of the things that we're trying to do too. We're trying to eliminate the stagnation between rehabilitation and getting back into society, and just being stagnant in someone's office while they receive funds.
I put it in 4 words: peoplereclaiming.ourselves.org or .com. Just take advantage of that. We're here. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Welcome to the Windy City. We appreciate your time. Jamie Severe, founder and president of P.R.O. And, of course, Chico Debarge. Album in stores June 30th. It's entitled Addiction. Make sure you cop that. It's the Foxx on the Box Show.
Check that out.